Keep that Valentine's Day spirit going and cuddle up to some college basketball on a cold February night. Live inside the historic Rose Hill Gym. It's the Rams against the Rams as Fordham hosts VCU. Alongside Andrew Brian Posadas, I'm Andrew Bogish. Thanks for being with us here in the Bronx for this A-10 battle. The Rams on the home side remain without Darius Quisenberry after already losing Antonio Day. So that's 34 points off the floor for Fordham. So who steps up? Over the weekend in their win at Duquesne, it was Josh Colon-Navarro. Those 15 points included 2 huge late threes to seal the win. They need more of that tonight. Plus, defensively, Colon-Navarro part of the plan to slow down Ace Baldwin, one of the most dynamic guards in the Atlantic 10.
Yeah, and an Ace Baldwin who's coming off a torn Achilles, just 6 months removed. And in the last 15 games since his return, VCU, the Ace effect has been real. They're shooting 47% from the floor and averaging almost 69 points per game. And Ace Baldwin Jr. does it on both ends, averaging 4 steals over his last 7 games.
He would be among the conference leaders, the national leaders, if he had played more, but just 15 games in, doesn't qualify in those categories, but still putting together a really remarkable return from a major injury just in May, which now leads us, Andrew, to your keys to the game.
And let's look at it for VCU. First and foremost, havoc is heaven for this team. They're second in Division I in turnover percentage at 26. And over since the start of last season, they forced 15 or more turnovers in 38 of 48 games. And of course, embrace the inner Road Warrior. I'm not talking about the famous tag team, although I think Road Warrior, Hawk, and Animal would be quite impressed with that 7-1 record. And if they were to win tonight, it would be the program's most road wins in a season since 2011-2012 when they went 10-3. And let's look over to the Fordham side first. Control the glass. This is a team that's top 5 in the A-10 in rebounding. And as for VCU, as long and as athletic and big as they are, they rank last, just 32 rebounds, and they're 5-7 this season when they lose that rebound battle. And for the Rams, or the Fordham Rams, take advantage of turnovers in their 4 A-10 wins this season, averaging 16 points off turnovers. And VCU, as good as they can force turnovers, they can give them up too.
Both of these Rams coming off impressive wins on the road. VCU went to George Mason and put together arguably its best offensive showing of the season, scored 85 points, which tied their season high, shot 55% from the floor, 16 of 18 from the free throw line. They had 5 players in double figures, while Fordham was at Duquesne later Saturday, won by 11. Every time the Dukes made a push, the Rams knocked down a shot or two to pull back ahead and get a rare for this program wire-to-wire road win. They did that without Darius Quisenberry. He remains out for this one. So the Rams again start Colon-Navarro with Kyle Rose and Antrell Charlton, plus 2 bigs in Shuba Ohams, the nation's leader in rebounds per game, and Abdou Simbila. He's jumped with Hassan Ward, and we are underway in the Bronx. It's VCU basketball to get us rolling.
And already we're seeing Josh Colon-Navarro on Ace Baldwin, but you got to expect it's going to be by committee. Kyle Rose, others will have to take on the challenge of stopping Ace Baldwin.
Shuba Ohams guarding KeShawn Curry, blew right by him and scores the first hoop of the evening. VCU plays 4 guards, 1 big, and now they get the turnover just like they wanted, and Curry has a slam and 2 quick hoops from him to start the night.
And that's what VCU wants to do. They want to pressure you, see and make you uncomfortable. And for the Rams now, it's going to be incumbent upon ball handlers like Colon-Navarro and Antrell Charlton to be careful with this ball.
Mike Rhodes, Shaka Smart, it has not mattered who's been in charge of this program. This defense is their calling card. 10 on the shot clock for Fordham. Trying to get themselves going now with 7 to shoot. Skipping Colon-Navarro, now Rose out of the corner. Simbila the flush, and that's how Fordham gets on the board first.
And it seems as the season has progressed, Simbila's conditioning, you can see it's getting to where Coach Kyle Neptune and the staff wants it to be, and he's played with great energy over his last 4 games.
Vince Williams got low, nowhere to go, so now it's Ward. And then Curry. And then Ward, the soft touch over Simbila.
And that's what this team can do. Great ball movement, and with their length, it's so hard to contest and alter shots from guys like KeShawn Ward with the wingspans that they possess.
KeShawn Ward averaging 7 points and 5 rebounds for the season, but over his last 5 games, 3 double-doubles, 11.5 points per game. Oham's little runner rims out, kept alive again by Simbila. Rose can't do that, gives it back to VCU.
And a good job there, Simbila, getting them that extra possession, but Kyle Rose getting caught in the air here as we see the early pressure getting to Chuba Ohams and the finish. And that's exactly what Mike Rhodes wants to see here in the first 2 minutes of action.
Ace Baldwin, as expected, cloaked by Josh Colon-Navarro, Fordham's best on-ball defender. Also super adept at drawing offensive fouls. A throwaway, springs Colon-Navarro, picks up Ohams with the lob, but clearly they don't connect, and out comes VCU. It's Baldwin, it's Williams. No for a 3, but Ward the snatch. So Fordham got the turnover on this end, but it's kind of been a season-long issue for them, Andrew, is they get turnovers, but those don't always become points on the other end.
Yeah, and that's what you have to do. Again, I mentioned one of the keys to the game, taking advantage. You know, VCU, they can play a bit sloppy, but if you can't cash in on the other end, I mean, this could get away from Fordham quickly.
A very quick substitution, so quick, Chuba Oham surprised. He is leaving the floor. Patrick Kelly replaces him. Kelly was injured to begin this season, a slow start once he was healthy, but beginning to chip in more and more every game now off the Fordham bench. Baldwin underneath the foul line takes on Simbila and has his first 2.
And that's such a tough move by Ace Baldwin, taking that physical contact from Simbila, but bouncing right off and is still able to make the lay-in.
We're going to say it more than once, but Ace Baldwin ruptured his Achilles in May, and he was back in the VCU lineup by mid-December. 7 months recovery. And now here in mid-February, he's 100%. There's no more restrictions. He had been even wearing one of those athletic sleeves on his lower left leg. That's gone as well. Here go the Rams running, and Charlton puts his shoulder into Nunn to stop the fast break.
Yeah, and it's amazing to think about with technology. An injury like a torn Achilles, as we see right here, off in transition, Charlton bumping right there and getting the foul call. But we were talking about this before the broadcast. I mean, a torn Achilles was really, that was a career killer if you were a basketball player. But now we're seeing guys coming back 6-7 months removed. It really is amazing to see what technology is doing for athletes now.
And everyone you ask around VCU about this recovery, their answer always begins with this laugh because they know it's so ridiculous that he's back so fast, and he's back. It's not like he's out there limping around, not being the same player. He's a full go, full effect. Nice cut in the finish through contact from Williams.
That's a good job there. Vince Williams catching Fordham's defense napping, cutting to the basket for the easy bucket.
A 10-2 start for VCU, and Fordham keeps turning it over, but VCU returns the favor as Ward overshoots Williams.
And Chuba Ohams right now, a couple of times that he's had the ball, he's been very lazy with it right here. How about that? Taking the contact, grown man move by Ace Baldwin, and VCU off to a nice start, up by 8.
Already 5 Fordham turnovers, which is not good against anybody in 4 minutes, but you are feeding right into everything VCU wants to do by giving up the basketball.
Yeah, and over the past 3 seasons, VCU 31-7 when forcing 18 or more turnovers.
Good take, Colon-Navarro, left-hand finish. Ahmad Harrison's in the game for Kyle Rose. So Kyle Neptune making quick work of his bench. Baldwin driving, Ward stepped on the baseline. The 5 Fordham turnovers, bad news. The 3 VCU turnovers helping that cause, but it's the visiting Rams up by 6 early in the Bronx. So it's Rams on Rams here inside the Rose Hill Gym, and 2 Andrews on the broadcast with you as Fordham retakes the floor. trying to find their footing. Certainly not the crisp start that Cal Neptune was hoping for from his squad here tonight.
Yeah, havoc has come early and often here in the first 5 minutes, and it's forced 5 Fordham turnovers, and VCU still upping that pressure. So for Fordham now, they've got to be careful with the ball. Breaking the press is everything if they're going to want to be successful on this end against VCU.
Fordham playing with Harrison, Rose, Cologne, Navarro, Kelly, and Ohams. Tough catch for Ahmad Harrison, 12 to shoot. Working on Marcus Sahonis, who's just off the VCU bench. Harrison the take and the finish. Puts Sahonis down, took the contact, a throw ahead, and Curry has his second dunk in the first half.
And that's what can't happen. You can't get caught after a made basket and allow somebody to get behind you in transition. KeShawn Curry does that, and that's an easy 2 points to cancel out what Ahmad Harrison just did.
Patrick Kelly's open. Off to the right with the three, a rebound for Baldwin, and up-tempo is VCU as always. Williams got in the air and throws it away. And there was nobody near that pass from Vince Williams.
And Cal Neptune right now giving some instructions to Josh Cologne Navarro's right here over a made basket to not have anybody there. KeShawn Curry just leaks out for the jam. That just can't happen, and that's exactly what Cal Neptune is telling his guys right now. After made baskets, there can be no one who gets behind you on the other end.
Simbila comes back in. Rostik Nowitzki plays for the first time as Ohams and Kelly sit, and that's a foul reaching from behind on KeShawn Curry.
And in the absence of Darius Quisenberry, Kyle Rose, he's going to have to be that guy to step up offensively. And AB, he's done just that. Double figures in 5 of his past 8 games, and over his last 3 games, averaging 10 points on 45% shooting from the floor.
Josh Cologne Navarro did his part offensively as well over the weekend at Duquesne, as we just touched on the top of the show. Here's Rose. Nice crossover. But can't shake Curry, now 5 to shoot. Harrison recognizes, gets it in the air, and that's a shot clock violation on the air ball.
And AB, it's so impressive to see the one-on-one defense from VCU, from their guys, just so locked in, and with their wingspan, with that length, it just makes it so difficult to operate. And Fordham right now really in a rut offensively.
Just got to look at Mike Rhodes in his 5th season as VCU's head coach. 96 wins, 50 losses. The 2019 A-10 Coach of the Year. Baldwin scores and then screams to celebrate afterwards.
Again, another grown man move. 6'1", 190, but right there, banging bodies with bigs and still getting it to go.
Tough pass, Rose to Nowitzki, recovered by Harrison. No look, Charlton bricks the 3, and another rebound for Baldwin. Snapped ahead, Sahonis. Tough shot, rimming out. Williams and Rose had been battling. Rose wins the board. Cologne Navarro takes off and drops it in.
That's a heady play by Josh Cologne Navarro, playing good defense, seeing the defensive rebound was captured, and then leaking out, getting an easy layup for himself.
Williams on a take. Gets it back and scores. Nicely done. Williams to Deloach, back to Williams. And now we've got a technical foul called. It's going to be on Sahonis. This one's got a little edge to it. Fordham likes to be a pest. Williams and Rose were battling on the previous VCU possession. This was Sahonis and Harrison talking, and the VCU players call for the tech. As Baldwin, you see the score and the scream through Nowitzki.
Yeah, and it seems like after the whistle, Sahonis just had some words and just seemed to be too much. The refs drew the line and gave him a tech.
Fordham down 8. 7 minutes into this one inside the Rose Hill gym. Kyle Rose started to cut to the rim. Oham thought he was coming out high. Another Fordham turnover. That is now 6 against those Rams.
Yeah, and AB, Chuba Oham's 4 turnovers already. He has just not been able to get in a rhythm. We know how good of a passer Chuba can be.
And make it 7 turnovers on his team. Probably lucky to be only down 8. That's out of bounds to VCU. The drive by Nick Kern Jr. And then the pass off the hands of Deloach.
Maybe we are seeing sloppy play, 12 turnovers between both teams so far.
Cologne Navarro's got the triple, and after 15 points over the weekend, he's got 7 already here tonight, and he pulls Fordham within 5.
I mean, he's only shooting 25% from beyond the arc over his last 4 games, but Josh Cologne Navarro is absolutely capable of torching you from 3.
And now Rose on a strip. Cologne Navarro trying to get a second foul out of Sahonis. Sahonis avoided that. Now he and VCU plays defense. Harrison gets the whistle on 5 in black. And that's 2 on Sahonis because of the technical foul a moment ago. As Fordham tries to find its footing here after the sloppy start. Ahmad Harrison at the free throw line when we come back to the Bronx. Not surprisingly, this went off to a frenetic pace. Ahmad Harrison, the drive, 2 big points for Fordham, and VCU, the immediate answer.
And just a great job by KeShawn Curry, understanding that nobody was getting back on defense quick enough, leaking out and then getting the jam. And that's exactly what VCU wants to do. They want to play up and down, make it a fast-paced game. But AB, from what we've seen from the Rams, they enjoy pushing the pace at times themselves. So it's going to be interesting to see if Kyle Neptune wants to keep it more half court to kind of balance the game out through 40 minutes.
Yeah, the Fordham does want to be up-tempo, but I'm not sure they have the horses just yet to be as up-tempo as VCU can be. This game for Fordham, they'll want it a little bit slower, I think, than VCU will. But this game, no matter what, full of athletes and bounce and arms and legs and wingspan. So there's going to be a lot of strips, a lot of turnovers, a lot of pace as Harrison rattles in the free throw. Ahmad Harrison getting some early minutes here in this one and making the most of them. He's got 4 points. Hadn't scored since January 22nd in this building against Davidson. Josh Cologne Navarro denying Ace Baldwin the basketball, so Vince Williams initiates the offense for VCU. Halfway through the shot clock, Williams walked. There's a lot of slipping on this end of the floor in particular, it seems like. Kern did it on his way up the floor to start the possession, then Williams here, those feet going everywhere.
Yeah, and that's a great job by Kyle Rose to just stay vertical, keep that lateral quickness, keep up with Vince Williams. And Kyle Rose, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, he's about as good a defender as it gets, only a sophomore, but Kyle Rose has the potential to maybe one day make an all-defensive team.
Mistake by Cologne Navarro on the throwaway. Williams on the drive, getting baseline. Oh, what a finish! Twisting through contact for 2 and maybe 3.
And after I say that about Kyle Rose, Vince Williams Jr. decides to play bully ball on the baseline right here. Get out of my way real quick. I'll go reverse on you, Chuba. And 1. And now Vince Williams talking a little bit of smack afterwards, now looking to complete the 3-point play.
A little corkscrew up from the baseline to avoid Chuba Ohams. Kyle Rose got the foul. It's his first. And now Williams, who is in his 3rd game back from a calf strain that cost him 2 games, is at the free throw line. Curry and Ward just came back in for Deloach and Kern for VCU, whose lead is 6, approaching the midpoint of this opening half in the Bronx. Andrew Bogish and Andrew Posadas with you from the historic Rose Hill Gym. David Bernard Santana, Matt Mendes in charge of our crew, bringing this one inside the Atlantic 10 on this Tuesday night. Chuba Ohams, a rare touchdown low for Fordham, bumping with Hassan Ward, muscles up, can't get the bank. Rose got the offensive rebound and a foul on VCU.
Right there, great work by Kyle Rose to stay in position there, get the offensive rebound, gets fouled by KeShawn Curry. And both these teams after that, look at that. And Chuba Ohams, there aren't going to be too many players that can stand vertically and contest his shot. And it just so happens Hassan Ward is one of those guys in the A10, someone who can match Chuba with that length and athleticism.
That's 2 fouls on KeShawn Curry, so he sits. And Josh Banks comes in. Ohams in the lane, out for KeShawn Navarro. And into the hands of Jayden Nunn.
Yeah, three-point shot just not working for the Rams. 1 of 6 here to start in the first half.
Williams with 15 to shoot. Now Ward over Ohams for 2. And we've got a technical foul down low. Rose, Charlton, Williams were all talking. And I think this is on Vince Williams.
Yeah, just Vince Williams giving some pleasantries after the nice feed to Hassan Ward for the little floater. Had some extra words for Antrell Charlton. We saw him have some words for Kyle Rose a few possessions back, and the referees have to break that up.
And Vince Williams still salty as Mike Rhodes takes him out of the game. So this is 2 trash-talking technical fouls on VCU. The first on Marcus Sahonis. This one's on Vince Williams. And Josh KeShawn Navarro will shoot the free throws.
Yeah, more importantly, AB, you take Vince Williams Jr. out of the game. He's arguably their best passer and might be their most versatile player. So to have him on the bench now for Fordham, you got to take advantage of that.
But this continues to be, by the way, a hallmark of this Fordham team. They play hard to begin with, but they also seem to be very good at getting right to that line and eliciting a response from you. They did this to Davidson in a game in this building last month, a game that they were winning by double digits into the second half. They bothered Davidson and angered Davidson, and it worked to their advantage. And right now they've drawn a pair of techs in the first 10 minutes of this game from VCU.
I mean, definitely what you have to do, we talked about how good of a road team VCU is, and Fordham doing a good job getting them out of their comfortability.
Ahmad Harrison the take, but the denial by Nunn.
And here we go right here. Just, again, I mentioned some of these players and their wingspans and what that can do, and that's just ideal for a coach defensively when you have guys who can come and recover and get those blocks.
Ohams to a cutting Rose, lucky not to walk. Shot clock's at 5. KeShawn Navarro got in the lane, got it up off the rim, and then out of bounds off of Ohams. A little house cleaning. When Josh KeShawn Navarro was shooting his free throws a second ago after the Williams tech, I couldn't remember free throws after the Sahonis tech, and there weren't because Ahmad Harrison was also called for a tech in that exchange, which we missed live, so apologies for that. So offsetting techs earlier in the game. So now 2 called against VCU and 1 on Fordham. Ace Baldwin across the timeline, leading by 6, past the midpoint of this opening half. Baldwin for Ward, and again, flying that little jump hook, but now you see him going down, holding his left leg.
Yeah, AB, after coming off that floater, just seemed to come down a little weird on that left leg on the follow-through right here and getting that over Sambila, making it, but you can see once he lands, just comes up gimpy and has to go and get down on the baseline, now being tended to by the trainer.
VCU is healthy right now. Everyone that can play is playing, but they began the year without Ace Baldwin because of that torn Achilles, and they're missing Jameer Watkins and Jaron McAllister, who'd be contributors, in particular Watkins, but both of them suffered preseason torn ACLs. And now they are hoping that this is nothing of significance for Hassan Ward, who has really blossomed over the last 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, playing the best stretch of basketball this season. 3 double-doubles the past 5 games, averaging 12 points, 9 rebounds, and over a block per game, shooting 74%. And right now, having to be taking off the court, cannot walk on his own power right now. But for VCU, they do have depth. So with the injuries, Mike Rhodes has still been able to put guys out there and can go deep in his bench with the length that he has.
But this obviously not what VCU wants to see. Their best big, dynamic on offense and defense, coming down awkwardly on that left leg after scoring again over Chuba Ohams.
Yeah, AB, and it looked like when he was coming down, he put all of the weight on his left leg first. He didn't come down with both legs, and I think that weight and the pressure on that left leg is what ultimately got him nicked up there.
The Hoop has VCU up by 8. Antrell Charlton back on the floor for Fordham. Levi Stockard is out there for VCU number 34. Defending Simbila, who recovers that pass with 10 to shoot. And Charlton's call for the hook to get around Nunn on the baseline.
Yeah, trying to be crafty there, but you can see wrapping around on the baseline. You'll get called for an offensive foul every single time right here. Just coming using that right arm to chicken wing and gets called for the offensive foul.
And that's number 2 on Charlton, so out he goes with 9:17 left before halftime. Ahmad Harrison back in for Fordham. Nunn and Rose up the floor together. Mikal Brown-Jones, number 2, on the handoff to Banks. Mike Rhodes has gone down his bench here with Williams having 2 fouls. Ward on the bench. Brown-Jones banks in the triple. 2 of 10 from downtown coming in. And he gets that one with some luck off the window for an 11-point lead.
It's a bit late, but the bank always open here in the Bronx.
And now a knockaway by Baldwin. VCU began this game on a 10-2 run. Fordham got back in it. VCU charging right now, but Baldwin misses.
And without Charlton here, it's going to be incumbent on Josh Colon-Navarro. He's going to have to initiate offense and execute these sets because right now Fordham has not been able to develop a sustained rhythm offensively.
Shot clock again in single digits. Colon-Navarro has been their best offensive player so far. Rose, Simbila, contact, no whistle. VCU's off and running. Nunn's pass for Banks goes out of bounds as Banks got tripped. Both head coaches wanting whistles on their offensive ends. VCU, though, loving this. The kiss for 3 and an 11-point lead. It's students and season ticket holders, plus VCU's traveling party and friends and family of Fordham players and staff. So a near-capacity crowd inside the Rose Hill Gym on this Tuesday night, and it is certainly good to have fans be the predominant noise, not you and I blabbing about basketball.
I was going to say that's night and day. The players could hear everything we're saying now, and it's good to have that spirit, that liveliness that the Ramley brings.
Ahmad Harrison had that pivot foot skid. It's another Fordham turnover, already in double digits with a lot of time left in the opening half.
Yeah, and for Fordham right now, over 2.5 minutes scoreless. VCU's havoc defense really doing whatever it wants and forcing Fordham to have to react as opposed to being proactive.
And even that turnover, on one hand, kind of unforced, but it's the result of all of the work Harrison has to do to get across the timeline, down the lane, into the paint, constantly being hounded. That's how your foot slips. And then on the other end, the triple makes this a 14-point VCU lead.
Yeah, it's a war of attrition. And when you have guys who can play this up-tempo, full-court press style, you know that their conditioning is at an elite level, and that's what VCU does. They wear you down over 40 minutes with their defense. It's suffocating.
Tough shot for Ohams. Didn't get it. Nunn. The speed the other way. And that's going to be out of bounds. That was off of Chuba Ohams. I'm not sure how this is Fordham basketball. He knocked it away from Levi Stockard, then down on his leg and out of bounds, but the call goes with Fordham. Mike Rhodes can't believe it.
Yeah, Mike Rhodes was signaling that it went off Chuba's foot. As we see right here, it goes off of his knee, and the referee right here, he's on this side of the baseline, but just did not see it, and the Rams, they get a break.
Yeah, that's Brent Hampton, and he had the same look that you and I did, and we saw it go out off of Ohams. He didn't. That's a break for Fordham, but can they make it points on this end? Stuck on 15 for a long time right now, and that's an offensive foul on Harrison. A little hip check after the handoff.
And I think that's what VCU's defense does best. It frustrates you. And for Ahmad Harrison right there, having to come back and trying to set the screen there off the handoff, doesn't even set himself up. And again, Ahmad Harrison's already had a technical, so you can see emotions just a bit too high for some of the Fordham and VCU players, and it's resulting in some bad, sloppy play.
This is on Harrison again, now on the defensive end. And you're right, when everything is difficult, you're trying to do other things to open it up, like that little moving screen a second ago. And there, Harris trying to sell the offensive foul to no avail. His team scoreless for 3:43. 8 straight VCU points to lead by 14, and they've got the basketball.
And AB, that's where someone like Darius Quisenberry, someone who's seasoned, experienced at the guard position, that's where his absence really hurts the Rams the most in trying to break this press.
Stockard off back rim. Cologne Navarro rebounds. It also doesn't help. As good as Chuba Ohams has been this year, averaging a double-double, having an all-conference level season, he's now their best offensive player, but his skill set is still as developed as it's become, where you can't just throw it to him here and get points consistently. He's trying, but it's still not the best part of his game. Cologne Navarro's three kicks out, and Stockard corrals it for VCU. The Fordham drought continues. Vince Williams is back on the floor with those 2 fouls, almost gave it up. Mike Rhodes calling out a new play for Ace Baldwin. Around the high screen, the elbow jumper isn't there. Another rebound for Ohams.
And now for Fordham now, what do they go to? Maybe a pick and roll here and trying to get Chuba, perhaps an easy slam at the basket.
Just their second triple of the night, just their 6th made field goal. Kyle Rose hit it. They're down 11 and some noise from their fans here in the Rosehill Gym.
Yeah, and if VCU is going to collapse in the paint, there are going to be open looks in the corner for Kyle Rose, and he knocks one down there, a much-needed one for the Rams, who are 2 of 9, shooting 22% here in the first half from 3. There's right here a good job by Antrell finding Kyle wide open, and he knocks down that corner 3. Kyle Rose has really played the role of 3 and D perfectly. His development from last year to this year, he's really made great strides on both ends.
Marcus Tejonas comes back in with those 2 personals, one of them being that early technical foul. Ahmad Harrison with 3 fouls for Fordham, including the tech, so he's on the bench. Nunn, step back, drains it.
And that's just so smooth, too. I mean, not what you want. You don't want a long 2-point shot. That's usually not the ideal shot, but right there, very smooth on the step back from Nunn.
The freshman from Flint, Michigan, showing off the touch there. Rose off the pump fake. Ohams off the offensive glass. And the foul on the contest by Deloche.
And with no Hassan Ward out there, Chuba Ohams has to take initiative. He has to be assertive and go out there and attack the glass. Does just that and earns himself a trip to the free throw line. Is right here, backing down Vince Williams and gets fouled right there. And just that effort from Chuba. Fordham needs to take that effort and put that on both ends right now. A 13-point lead, but with 4 minutes and 36 seconds, still enough time for Fordham to chip away and make this a reasonable deficit by halftime.
It has become a battle at the free throw line for Chuba Ohams. Cameron Cunningham is in for Fordham. Chuba missing badly in that first attempt. Now came into today 11 for 29 from the line. That's 37% over his last 8 games. Bailed out, though, by a lane violation to start. So he makes now the front end of these 2 and gets a second chance.
Yeah, has a little hitch in his giddy-up, AB. So, I mean, he's forced multiple lane violations. And I think if we kept track of that stat in the Atlantic 10 or nationally, Chuba Ohams would be won by a resounding mark, I'd have to imagine.
It was easily one per game during non-conference play. To the point where, we would joke about it, but it almost should have been in the scouting report from other teams because it was on every game tape Fordham had. Vince Williams working hard. He scores over Zach Riley.
And if Zach Riley is going to get switched over to Vince Williams Jr., Vince Williams is going to go right to work, does just that, and takes advantage of the smaller Riley.
Up to 9 for Williams, 4 of 5 shooting.
Is right here, just taking advantage. You're too small, let me go up. Vince Williams Jr., a little bit more talking after the play. He's had a lot to say here in the first half.
This is VCU's largest lead of the game, and it's going to stay there and maybe grow as Cologne Navarro's floater rimmed out. Nunn on the attack, gets in the air, and that's an offensive foul drawn by Cameron Cunningham. Rare good news for Fordham at the moment. VCU in control of this one right now. Offense and defense, and 9 points from Vince Williams. That young man on your right, one of the best Rams ever, Bavon Robin, New York City high school legend, stayed home, played here at Fordham as the program transitioned to the Atlantic 10 in the mid to late 90s. Just a phenomenal player. And I told him before the game, it's good to have him in the building. He should be here more often. And it's good that he's back here tonight. And just a remarkable, remarkable player. Had a health scare shortly after graduating college. So thankfully, that's all behind him. And it's just great to see Bev in person here tonight.
Yeah, inducted into the Fordham Athletics Hall of Fame in 2001, I believe, or not too long afterwards. But as the kids would say, AB, he was and probably still is a walking bucket, somebody who can get you 30 on any given night. And right now, he's got to be wondering, what does Fordham have to do to start getting some buckets of their own and cut into this VCU deficit?
He was front and center in one of the more memorable Fordham wins in their A-10 history, beating a Mike Jarvis St. John's team at Madison Square Garden. Antrell Charlton trying to find some space, but there isn't any. So now it's Ohams, and now Charlton back out high with 5 to shoot. Nunn's on him. Charlton got it up, got only net. It's the second shot clock violation of the half against Fordham.
And it's just, again, Fordham is taking so many contested shots, a lot of their shots getting altered, and you can see they're just unable to get into the half-court sets that they want. VCU is doing such a great job of disrupting them and forcing them to have to play more of an ISO style, which is resulting in those bad shots.
Getting late in the opening half, VCU on its largest lead of the night as Nunn throws it away. Cologne Navarro to the front court. It's Charlton back to him, and now it's Rose open or Cunningham. In and out from downtown for Cameron Cunningham. 2 of 11 from 3 is Fordham. The hands by Charlton. Now Cologne Navarro to finish with the left hand.
Now, nice job there of making it difficult. Ace Baldwin trying to get that pass to the wing. Good job by Charlton, and Cologne Navarro getting a hand on it and getting onto the other end and getting the layup.
9 for Cologne Navarro after his 15 against Duquesne. High screens for Baldwin. Now Deloche rolls and lays it in. Nicely done by he and Baldwin.
Yeah, and Antrell Charlton caught napping, tried to get the steal from behind, but another good example of VCU cutting to the basket and getting the easy look at the rim.
Cunningham with that left arm. That's an easy whistle.
And it seems to be from frustration. Cameron Cunningham trying to get off his defender one-on-one. And when you get flustered from that defense, you start getting physical, and that physicality results in yet another offensive foul for Fordham.
Cunningham takes a seat, so does Charlton. Kelly, Riley, Rose, Cologne, Navarro, and Ohams, the 5 for Fordham. Baldwin, Sahonis, Williams, Curry, and Deloach for VCU.
Maybe that was the first time we saw Kyle Neptune implement a little bit of pressure in the backcourt there. We'll see if he tries to continue doing that. I mean, you have to do something to get VCU off of their game right now. We see how to their stuff, so maybe some pressure off inbounds. That might be what Kyle Neptune has to do, has to switch it up, because defensively right now, they have not been able to stop VCU. I mean, they're shooting it at 70% from the floor.
And as you pointed out, you can turn VCU over. They'll give it up if you put the pressure on it, but Fordham has not found that pressure just yet. Williams finds the triple deep in the shot clock, and the lead is 17 for VCU.
And just a smooth stroke from the lefty there. And Vince Williams now up to 12 points on 5 of 6 shooting.
Patrick Kelly's got the answer on this end for Fordham.
And Patrick Kelly's going to have to be more of a factor offensively. In the last 4 of 6 games, he's averaged 5 or more. So for Pat Kelly, he can stretch the floor as a three-point shooter, and good to see him knock that down.
Another Ohams turnover, leading the break, threw it away. Williams, Curry, a flush again, his 3rd dunk of the half.
And KeShawn Curry, he's a high flyer. His dunk package goes deep, but Chuba Ohams just doing too much here in the first half. Yet another turnover, up to 5 for Chuba Ohams.
And that one critical. Kelly's 3, a stop, a chance to get a little bit closer. Instead, the giveaway and the easy 2, pushing the lead back to 16. Chuba trying to go strong, denied again. It does not matter. Any big on him is winning the physical battle. That's on Vince Williams. More accident than anything, collides with Josh Cologne Navarro, and that's his 2nd late in this first half.
Yeah, another just illegal screen right there, trying to get something easy as we see Sahonis here waiting. And again, Josh Cologne Navarro he does such a great job of getting in position to force you to make that mistake. And right there, the offensive foul called on Vince Williams Jr.
So I was trying to be nice, and that was more accident. So that wasn't an accident. That was avoidable.
That's an Academy Award-winning performance right there.
Fordham will use its timeout with 20 seconds to go. Shot clock is off, so looking for something here before halftime. But this was the fear for the homestanding Rams. Without Darius Quisenberry, already long gone Antonio Day, their 2 best offensive players gone against a premier defense. It was going to be tough sledding. It's been tough sledding, and there hasn't been enough Fordham defense on this end. Vince Williams in double figures, and his Rams shooting lights out, 69% to lead by 16 right now.
Yeah, and what they were able to do against George Mason is now translated here in the Bronx. 70% from the floor, 75% from beyond the arc, and it's just everybody seems to be doing their part. And Fordham's defense now already on their heels, not really able to get into it offensively. And on both ends, VCU just outworking and out-hustling Fordham. And how about this, with the turnover battle being what it is, how about VCU 18 points off turnovers? The Rams have 11 points off turnovers themselves, but just not doing them any good, down 16.
That's 18 points off of 15 turnovers, more than they average in a full game. They have committed in the opening half. Rose on a backdoor play from Ohams gets 2 to close out the opening half. They won't like the score, but they'll take the last hoop and maybe the tiniest bit of momentum into the locker room at halftime. But the first 20 minutes belong to VCU. Havoc on defense and production on offense. Running the floor, the give up, and the flush from Curry. And it's VCU by 14 at the break. The way they begin this second half. Baldwin, Curry, Nunn, Williams, and Deloach for VCU, because Hassan Ward has not returned from his first half leg injury as Rose rattles in the free throw. Saw Ward on more than one occasion trying to walk off, trying to get treatment and get that leg right, but He is not on the floor as this second half begins. And now Fordham shows some pressure defense. And VCU's across, and Deloach was open down low. Now it's Williams running and kicking out. And missing the three is Jayden Nunn. Antrell Charlton bothered by foul trouble in the opening 20. Josh Cologne Navarro leads Fordham with 11. Vince Williams lead all scorers with 12 for VCU.
And AB, this is what I've been talking about for Fordham. They've just been unable to initiate their offensive sets early, having to wait late into the shot clock in order to get something in the half court. And again, results in another tough shot by Kyle Rose from the wing.
But Chuba Ohams' hustle gets it back for Fordham with 20 to shoot. Ohams put Williams down, couldn't dunk it. The foul's on Deloach.
And I love the mentality from Fordham to start attack the rim and get yourself to the free throw line. Make it easy for yourself. As we'll take a look here at the replay, a great look by Antrell Charlton, the nice lob. And how about that? Chuba putting his shoulder down, dropping Vince Williams, and now he'll look to capitalize at the charity stripe.
Chuba now with 2 points. Doesn't have a field goal. The foul on Deloach was his third, so he's got to leave. Levi Stockard, the third, comes back in.
And AB, Hassan Ward has now rejoined the team on the bench, so we'll see now if maybe Mike Rhodes, if he's good enough, if he puts Hassan Ward back in the game.
1 of 2 for Ohams. Fordham down 11. Stockard's got position on Simbila, but good defense, so out it comes. A reset with Nunn, 10 to shoot. Curry, the step back. And a good box out by Simbila allows Ohams to take a chance to get within single digits. Ohams has the size advantage this time, but he still can't finish. Trying to keep it alive, and Fordham will keep it. It's out off VCU, shot clock to 20.
And you can tell that's the matchup Chuba Ohams wants, going against the undersized Vince Williams Jr., just unable to get a good touch there at the rim. But Fordham, they'll get another crack at it.
He has missed all 5 of his shots. He has 2 points and 7 rebounds.
VCU has made his life difficult and has really forced him to play uncharacteristically.
Rose couldn't get it to Charlton curling. Curry up ahead. It's Nunn with Rose getting a piece.
And how about the effort by Kyle Rose, the chase down block?
Stockard low. Left hand, yes, over Ohams.
And AB, if you're not going to have Hassan Ward, how valuable is it to have someone like Levi Stockard, over 100 games of experience coming over from Kansas State?
Cologne Navarro a little too strong from downtown. Williams on the rebound. VCU pushing as always. And we've got a whistle, finally. Jamie Luckey was signaling a block, but I think he had almost like a dud whistle or never actually blew it. There was no audible call. Here's the rebound. Away they go. And it's right coming here. Cologne Navarro tried to catch Stockard. And everyone kept playing until Brent Hampton blew his whistle coming down the floor.
Yeah, when you have a whistle, I mean, you have to be emphatic with it, AB. You can't just blow it all, nilly-willy out there.
I don't know that I ever really seen that before. He whiffed on the whistle. He airballed it.
Yeah. Isn't there a ball in the whistle to make?
Rose again with the block, this time from behind on Curry, who's looking for a call but not going to get one. Yeah, I think the ball bouncing around in there makes the whistle happen. Some kind of malfunction for Jamie Luckey.
And aside from the whistle talk, how about Carlos? I mentioned the potential he has as a defensive player, and right there, a great rejection on the recovery.
Fordham a good start defensively. Curry, Baldwin, and Stockard against Cologne Navarro, a chance at three. Got the switch, got the mismatch, got the pass, and then the hoop.
That's a perfect job identifying it, seeing Stockard had the smaller Josh Cologne Navarro, and a good job by Ace Baldwin to find his big and reward him with the potential three-point play.
Antrell Charlton runs down the miss for Fordham. They have been playing from behind from the get-go.
Maybe aside from a few made free throws, Fordham has yet to make a field goal here in the second half.
Oham's working on Williams, and he's finally got a field goal, his first of the night, to pull his team within 12.
And if Vince Williams Jr. is going to continue guarding Chuba in the post, it's incumbent upon Chuba to make him pay.
Curry the quickness. Denied by Ohams. Baldwin goes to work midway through the shot clock. Stockard rolling, and the whistle on the catch. That's on Charlton. And that's going to be number 3 on Antrell Charlton.
And again, just a little late with the help defense off the pick and roll. Ace Baldwin able to operate, and Antrell Charlton no choice but to swipe down on Levi Stockard and avoid maybe another and one finish.
Charlton asked to stay in, and for now his head coach obliging. Stockard up strong. The tip wouldn't go either, and it's Fordham basketball.
A couple of bunnies at the rim for Stockard III, just unable to put it down. And Fordham only down 13 points. Still plenty of time for them to do something, flip this game, flip the script, but it's got to happen on this end of the court.
It's only 4 minutes, but they've at least slowed down the VCU offense, so you're right. Now they need points. Kelly tries. Numbers if they want them. Williams, no. Second chance, yes.
And that's where you don't want to be off of a missed shot. VCU can get out in transition so quickly, and a beautiful weave there that results in the easy finish.
Oham's facing against Stockard. And a quick whistle. This time we hear it from Jamie Lucky. It's on Levi Stockard. And we have our first timeout of this second half. VCU still running, still leading, up by 15. But things continue in general to be pointed in the right direction right now for this Fordham program under Kyle Neptune in year one.
No, there's a lot to be optimistic about if you're a fan of Fordham men's basketball, and we showed that graphic with what they've done over the past 4 seasons, being 11-12, having 4 wins in the A-10 right now. That's huge strides in itself for this program.
And all you have to do is hear opposing coaches talk about playing Fordham before they do, and Mike Rhodes the latest to say just how different things look on tape right now. Simbila got low but couldn't finish. It was already out of bounds before Williams threw it off of Kelly. So Fordham keeps, but those are 2 from Simbila they needed there.
Yeah, right here, Simbila going right to work on the smaller Nunn and sticking around, and Vince Williams has his foot on the baseline before he's able to save the ball.
Zach Riley off the Fordham bench. Antrell Charlton catch and shoot. Another missed 3, kept alive by Kelly, but run down by Curry. And that's a whistle on Riley.
Yeah, the Fordham just unable to buy a basket from downtown. 3 of 16, 19% for Fordham, and that's exactly what VCU's defense want. If Fordham's going to settle for contested three-point shots, Mike Rhodes is going to take that all night.
3 of 16 from 3. 10 of 35. That's 28% overall. Kelly with the hands on a tough pass from Baldwin. Charlton for Simbila, and that's a foul on Vince Williams.
Simbila right there, a nice job. And Antrell Charlton, he's going to have to be the guy, as we see right here. Good job by Pat Kelly breaking up that pick and roll. And Antrell Charlton, arguably the best passer on this Fordham team right now. Good job threading the needle. And now Simbila will look to add some points from the free throw line.
Can't on the first. Charlton averaging an even 3 assists per game. He had 9 in a game at LaSalle earlier this year, the highest total by any Ram this season. One of 2 for Simbila. A lot of the offense at Duquesne and Fordham's win over the weekend ran through Charlton, but hampered by foul trouble today. Hasn't really found his rhythm in this one just yet. His team's down 14, playing defense. 14 and a half to go before, or in regulation, as Zach Riley asked for a foul that is going to be on him. He's not the victim here, as he tried for dear life to hang on against Levi Stockard.
And VCU's done such a great job of forcing switches and getting the matchups that they want in the low post. And for guys like Zach Riley and Ahmad Harrison, they're going to have to be careful. They're going to have to hedge, get over those screens. Is right here, just an unforced, almost another unforced error for VCU.
Stockard kept that in. Mikel Brown-Jones didn't think he did. The ball sat there for a second, free. Finally picked up, and here goes VCU again. It's Nunn, the stutter step, the give up. Here's Jones, thrown back by Simbila.
AB, how about that? Can we get another replay of that block shot? Abdou Simbila telling him you'll get nothing and like it.
There's 1 to shoot for VCU after all of that. A midair denial from Simbila, and there's the shot clock violation. Maybe that's the kind of play that can spark this Fordham team.
And they've done a great job here in the second half. VCU just 3 of 10 after shooting 69% in the first half.
Charlton perusing and drawing contact on Curry. And then Curry and Charlton talk for a second.
And Antrell, he's just so crafty when he's driving to the basket, has that old man YMCA game, and just using some deceptive moves there to get the foul. And now for Fordham, again, they've done a good job attacking the rim, and now this will be their 5th and 6th attempt from the free throw line already.
When you're playing from behind, you've got to hit your free throws. Fordham 8 of 11 from the line right now. Charlton is having a conversation with Brett Hampton because I think he was still talking at the line, even though his initial conversation when the foul was called was on KeShawn Curry. He's on the VCU bench right now. That was his 3rd foul, so he's got to sit. Vince Williams off the floor as well with 3 fouls, so that could help the Fordham recovery. 2 of the best for the Rams, the visiting Rams, off the floor right now.
Yeah, VCU going on a scoreless drought of almost 2 minutes.
Jayden Nunn can score it. Cut off low by Simbila. Tries again. Beautiful feed, and Brown-Jones scores.
That's such a great move by Nunn on the baseline, freezing Fordham's defense as they tried to come and collapse, and makes the great pass.
Fordham survives the double team. Simbila back up top, and now Kelly resets with Charlton. Charlton with 3 to shoot. Tough fall away. Got it off the rim. Simbila over the top. That's the whistle. But again, VCU gives Fordham nothing. They forced a shot late in the shot clock and miss.
It's just great 1v1 defense. How about Nunn keeping his hands up and forcing that tough fadeaway baseline jumper, and Simbila trying to fight for position gets called for over the back.
VCU still up by 15 despite a slow start on offense to the half. Baldwin trying to change that, can't with the triple. Riley into the front court, keeps going, skips for Kelly. Rostic Nowitzki is coming back in. Oham's on the bench. Quisenberry in street clothes on the bench. And you can see there's just not an obvious Fordham player to score the basketball right now.
And they don't have a true floor general. VCU has Ace Baldwin Jr. Fordham does not have anybody who can initiate offense and be that maestro for them that Ace Baldwin is for VCU.
Not everybody, most folks don't have an Ace Baldwin. That's the extreme at the moment. But you're right, that missing ingredient right now on this roster is that true point guard to break people down, make the right pass, get somebody an open shot.
Yeah, and Jalen Cobb would potentially be that. But again, he is out with that leg injury, and we don't expect or anticipate to see him at any point this season.
Nowitzki was open on a roll. Kelly coming down the lane for two.
And AB with an aggressive defense, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get opportunities to use backdoor cuts. And right there, Pat Kelly gets the easy lay-in.
The hands by Nowitzki breaking up the entry pass. Fordham needs more of this, trying to climb back into this one. They're down 13 as we step aside in the Bronx. Playing defense, wishing Darius Quisenberry and Jalen Cobb were healthy. Cobb has not been healthy at all year, preseason injury. Quisenberry dealing with a knee injury. Landed awkwardly taking a shot at St. Bonaventure. Did not play in Saturday's win over Duquesne. Not playing tonight. And certainly missed more today against a better team in general and a better defensive team in VCU. Stockard into the lane, no. Kelly couldn't find it. Nowitzki and Harrison can.
And the offense has to run through Antrell Charlton. He is the best player on the court in a Fordham jersey, and it's going to be up to him to make life easier for everyone else.
Kelly shoots. In and out it goes into the hands of Jayden Nunn. Nunn pulls the trigger himself, front rims it. And Harrison, the chase down.
And the struggles continue for VCU. Just 28% shooting here in the second half.
Charlton steps through, extra passes to Riley. That's no good from downtown. Three of 18 from three is Fordham. They've missed all 6.5. Baldwin turned away by Nowitzki. Here's Charlton. It's Kelly. It's no good again.
Maybe those are great looks that Pat Kelly is getting. He's capable of knocking them down, but he has been inconsistent from beyond the arc since he's come to play in his debut.
The last 3 or 4 looks have been good ones, but just won't go down for the Rams. So they stay down 13. Stockard to the middle with that left-handed off. That's out of bounds off of Banks. Changes for both sides. Williams, Curry, and Deloach come back in for VCU.
And how about this by Nowitzki? Might have got some of the hand of Ace Baldwin Jr., but you know what? Fordham won't complain about it. And just good defense there off of the switch by Nowitzki.
Nowitzki and Harrison go back to the bench. Rose and Ohams return for Fordham. Shot clock down to 6. Ohams turned by Deloach, pumps, floats, and hits.
That's just as tough as it gets. VCU not giving up any space, but Chuba going to work and finally getting some post moves and that hook shot to drop.
Fordham within 11. Baldwin against the bigger Kelly. Ohams throws it away. Schulten for Riley. Curry's with him. Riley missed it. Schulten rescues it. New possession for Fordham. Rose shoots and hits. Timeout VCU. Into single digits for the first time in a long time.
And how about that? The defense from the Rams translating into offense. And how about that? The block by Chuba Ohams leads the Rams on the break. And finally, the swing pass to Kyle Rose in the corner for the triple. Rams down 8.
Still a long ways to go, Andrew, but this is the best Fordham stretch in this game in recent memory, and it's got them within 8.
Yeah, and again, VCU going through a scoreless drought of 4:08. And right there, great job by Nowitzki to find Pat Kelly. And in that scoreless drought, Fordham has taken advantage. They are on a current 7-0 run, and now back into single digits. And now Josh Colon-Navarro starting to put a little pressure on the ball.
Token screen from Vince Williams, who gives the ball back to Ace Baldwin as VCU settles into its offense.
And Fordham going into a little bit of a matchup zone here.
Williams on the cut, Schulten the reach in, and that's 4 on Antrell Schulten.
Yeah, and Antrell just no choice, has to hack. Well, Vince Williams, again, another crafty move, flashing out and then cutting back to the basket and catching Antrell Charlton sleeping, and now 4 fouls. Again, right there, Josh Colon-Navarro just can't stay with Vince Williams on the cut, and Antrell Charlton, no choice, can't allow an easy basket, so he sends Vince Williams Jr. to the line.
Charlton asked to stay in with 3 fouls. There's no asking to stay in now with 4 at 9 minutes left. He's got to sit. Ahmad Harrison will come back in.
Yeah, there's just no way Kyle Neptune can afford to lose his best playmaker down the stretch here, especially now that the Rams have gotten back into it due to VCU's struggles right now shooting the ball.
Vince Williams leads VCU in points and rebounds. He's top 10 in the Atlantic 10 in assists and steals. You mix in 23 blocks, and nobody in the conference has his mix of points, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks. He's an all-around player. His 2 free throws push the lead back to 10.
And now without Antrell Charlton, somebody's going to have to step up as that facilitator and initiator.
Colon-Navarro gets in the paint, surrounded by 3 VCU players, throws it up. Ohams for 2.
And Deloach, nothing he could do there. Chuba, great job getting himself into position and puts it back. And Fordham still knocking on the door here, down 8 again.
Williams had it knocked away by Rose. Harrison trying to keep it. It's taken away by Williams. A new shot clock for VCU. And a throwaway by Banks.
A miscommunication there between him and Deloach. And now for Fordham, what can they do? And it looks like Chuba Ohams wants to be the one to get this going. He's asking for it on the block.
Halfway through the shot clock. Ohams now hottest at a screen. Colon-Navarro driving, and the roll! A chance for 3.
Josh Colon-Navarro, float game proper, contact plus the foul there, and the Rams looking to go for him. How about this by Josh Colon-Navarro, taking the contact and 1. Fordham sticking around.
For a long time, VCU did a very good job of keeping Fordham at arm's length, if not farther away. But somehow, with 7:37 left here in regulation, Fordham has pulled within 6, even though they're just 6 of 18, 1 of 8 from 3 in this second half. They have gotten within 6, plus they have a Josh Colon-Navarro free throw coming here in just a second.
AB, it's been all about effort. In the first half, there was no doubt, no question that VCU outworked Fordham to a T. but Fordham has flipped the script in the second half. They've started to come on defensively and really making things difficult for VCU's offense, and now their offense is starting to roll around, and Josh Colon-Navarro is going to try and complete the three-point play.
He has a team-high 13 points at the moment after 15 in Saturday's win at Duquesne. Three-point play is there for Colon-Navarro. 5-point game with 7.5 to go.
And you got to think, if you're Mike Rhodes, if you want to jumpstart this offense, it has to be between Ace Baldwin and Vince Williams Jr.
VCU has been up as much as 17. Eight to shoot for Williams Jr. Has it back from Deloach. Gets baseline. It's Deloach missing. Tipped out by Ohams and kept in by Riley. Zach Riley keeps it and scores it.
How about Zach Riley taking advantage of some lackadaisical transition defense from Nunn and going up strong for the layup?
Curry on the take, high off the window over Ohams for two big ones for VCU.
And now that puts KeShawn Curry into double figures, 10 points, 5 of 7, and you can add 2 boards and 2 steals for KeShawn Curry's box score.
And he went back up the floor asking for the ball more, saying, I can keep doing that.
And AB, he's somebody who scored 28 points earlier in the season against URI, so clearly capable of doing that.
Rose stepping back, missing badly on the triple. VCU by 5, 6 to go.
And Fordham's really thrown different looks. We've seen matchup zone, we've seen man-to-man, and it's confusing VCU.
Curry went into Riley, no whistle for any of that, and then out of bounds off of Fordham. There are 3 Rams backpedaling off balance that could not grab the rebound as Stockard comes back in for Deloach. Hassan Ward, as Andrew mentioned, did sit back down on the VCU bench early in the second half, but has had his warm-up shirt on and has never even thought about coming in after hurting his lower left leg in the opening half. Williams, the fall-away, left it short.
You got to think of pick and roll here with Josh Colon-Navarro and Chuba Ohams to initiate and set something up. VCU has been unable to really keep them at bay here in the second half.
Colon-Navarro wanted to give it back to Ohams, instead went himself and missed it. Williams got caught in the air. Stockard. It's a jump ball, and the arrow is VCU's. Riley and Ohams, the defense down low that time.
And that's just a mistake by Vince Williams Jr. He looked like he had a drive to the basket, but he kind of dribbled it out. And how about that? The effort from both Riley and Chuba Ohams to force the tie-up on Levi Stockard III.
22 to shoot as Baldwin throws in. They've got the mismatch down low. They can't get to Stockard, though. Williams didn't walk. None. To Williams. Feet set for 3.
A much-needed basket there for VCU. And now Vince Williams up to 19 points. That's his second triple of the night.
And Rose, lucky to hear that whistle. Attacked by Baldwin and Williams.
And right here, good job finding Vince Williams Jr. in the corner. And VCU, they needed that basket badly.
But right after that triple, Williams Jr. called for his 4th foul as they double-teamed Kyle Rose. Both teams in the bonus. Charlton on the Fordham bench with 4. And for right now, Williams Jr. staying on the floor with 4 for VCU.
And this is where the absence of Hassan Ward is going to be a big factor, and that's a reason why Mike Rhodes is leaving Vince Williams Jr. out there.
Rose gets the bounce. Stockard took a tumble going after that rebound, but he's okay. Kyle Rose is mouthing a defensive plan to his players as Rose at the second free throw. 4:45 to play. The VCU lead was 117. It got down to 3. Curry so quick, hanging. And just free throws, and then a little somersault to get back to his feet.
No, there's no doubt. He's got some bunchies in his shoes, and he's been uber aggressive here over the last few minutes. As how about this? A nice drive to the basket, hangs in the air, just unable to finish, but the foul is called.
And there's another whistle after all of that with the players congregating in the lane. But whatever it was, it was nothing that warrants a change to the box score. So we'll get our free throws now from Curry. And he gets the first.
And for KeShawn Curry, I mean, the past 10 games averaging 12 points. He's shooting 55% from the floor, and he has really blossomed into a really good three-level scorer. And he's wanted the ball here down the stretch to get VCU back in rhythm offensively.
Back-to-back free throws, pushing the lead back to 8. Antrell Charlton comes back in for Fordham with those 4 fouls. 4.5 to play. Cologne Navarro closed out by Baldwin. Oham's far from the rim with 10 to shoot. Leaning on Stockard, forcing his way low and off the window for 2 more.
And that's exactly what Chuba Ohams has to do. Use your quickness advantage against the slower Levi Stockard III. And Chuba Ohams, he's going to work now. Now up to 10 points. Another double-double for Chuba Ohams.
14 among the nation's leaders. Banks for Nunn. Doesn't use that screen. Good hedge by Ohams. 4 to shoot for Curry. Trying to shake free of Cologne Navarro. Can't hit it. And Ohams rebounds.
Excuse me, Chuba. Yeah, Chuba does. That's 10 and 11 now. Stats updating a bit late. And Chuba again.
In and out goes the Rose triple. And then Baldwin finds it for VCU. Too many of those around and out for Fordham in this second half.
And again, all good looks and from guys that you would expect to knock them down. A Pat Kelly, a Kyle Rose. And just those shots are stopping Fordham from clearing the back door and breaking this game open.
Tough drive, no bounce for Baldwin. VCU has scored only 17 points in this second half. 40 in the first half, 17 here in the second, as Fordham has climbed back into it.
Yeah, multiple scoring droughts from Mike Rowett's team in the second half.
Ohams on the other side, again Stockard. And the whistle on the floor in the lane. Free throws after the timeout. Fordham has forced its way back into this one, but VCU trying to stop the rally. They're up 6, 2:45 to go in the Bronx.
Your team has been Fordham, and they've outscored VCU 25-17, and it's come off the back of Chuba Ohams after going 0 of 4 in the first half. 4 of 5 from the floor right now. His 14th double-double, 7th in the NCAA, and now with a chance here at the free throw line to continue cutting into this 6-point deficit.
He is 2 of 4 at the line today. He has been struggling at the stripe over the last 8 games. But he's got the first. Both teams in the bonus. Both teams with multiple timeouts left, and Fordham has the possession arrow with 2:45 to go. One of 2 for Chuba, so now Fordham's got to play defense. Rams have missed 5 free throws. They're down 5 at the moment.
And quietly, Ace Baldwin Jr. has really been held in check. 0 of 3 here in the second half. He has not been a factor for VCU offensively.
Curry continues to be a factor, catch and shoot and score for a 7-point lead. And almost a steal from Jayden Nunn, but he's on the end line, reaching around Ahmad Harrison.
Kyle Neptune will bring Antrell Charlton back in, and with this pressure, this is not the time for Fordham to make those mistakes and turn the ball over carelessly like we saw early in the first half.
Protecting Charlton when they can. Offense, defense subs with 4 fouls. Rose comes to get the inbounds. Charlton looks to the sideline. 2 to play. Down 7. Rams are 4 of 22 from downtown, shooting 33% total, but somehow they've gotten back into this game, and now Ohams has more free throws.
Fordham has definitely mucked it up. It's been more grit and grind, and that is favoring Fordham. As right here, Chuba going to work on Deloach and just using that strength to get around him, and Deloach gets called for the block.
This wasn't the specific plan for VCU, but it's not a bad idea to just keep putting Chuba at the free throw line right now.
That's a great point, AB, and with Fordham being in the double bonus, maybe a hack of Chuba could be something that Mike Rhodes could strategize, but if Chuba's going to knock him down, it really doesn't make any sense.
Misses the second again. So Fordham's down 6, VCU in no rush, 1:50 to play.
And it's been KeShawn Curry. He's the guy VCU has gone to get points when they need him.
He's got 14. Williams Jr. has 19. This is Curry going through Ohams, and it's a block.
It's just a great, quick drive there, just bouncing Cologne Navarro off with that crossover and going right to this. How about that? A little step back, cross you back over again, and Chuba just unable to get there in time to draw the charge.
I didn't notice it live, but that was a filthy little move, little combo to beat Josh Cologne Navarro.
That's almost a little Allen Iverson on Antonio Daniels. Do you remember that? Got him both ways there. And then hopefully Antonio Daniels' ankles are still good to this day.
Fordham has 2 of its best players of years past in the gym. We mentioned Bavon Robin on the air. Brendan Frazier is here as well. KeShawn Curry reminds me physically of Mark Jarrell Wright, who played in this gym shortly after Bavon Robin did. Similar build, similar style, as Curry gets 2 big free throws for an 8-point VCU lead. Fordham needs 3s, but those have been a battle tonight. 4 of 22 from behind the arc. They're 1 of 10 here in the second half. This is a Fordham timeout as Cologne Navarro drives. There's 86 seconds to play. Fordham has done a decent job, really almost a surprising job. They're going to make this a game. As this second half kept going, it just didn't seem like they'd have enough punch to get back in it, but they've gotten as close as 3, but some missed free throws, the missed 3-pointers, and just enough KeShawn Curry on the other end has kept VCU in front.
Yeah, it was unrealistic to think that VCU was going to shoot 70% for the entire game, but they've really gone from hot to cold, and for Fordham, they just haven't been able to do enough offensively to really make this as close a game as maybe they'd like to with 1:26 left on the clock.
There is what's next for Fordham. We'll be with you for those non-USA Network games, as all of a sudden we're at the end of the regular season. It feels almost just like yesterday we were meeting Kyle Neptune. It was game 1 for him, and now here we are in mid-February talking about seeding and positioning for the A-10 tournament. Backdoor, good hands by Baldwin. Now it's Curry, slapped at by Charlton. He's done, but he had to give the foul. to keep his team barely alive.
And Ace Baldwin Jr. hasn't been able to get it going offensively, but again, he's been averaging 4 steals in the last 7 games, and right there, a huge pickpocket to get the steal and get out in transition. And for Fordham, that backdoor cut to Kyle Rose was right there, but Ace Baldwin Jr. shut the door on it with his steal. And KeShawn Curry going up, and Antrell Charlton has no choice but to hack him, and that's 5 on Antrell Charlton.
And you said the kind of quiet second half, the kind of quiet overall game for Ace Baldwin, but at the exact moment that his team needs him, he steps up, makes the defensive play there to take away what would have been an easy 2 points for Kyle Rose. So Charlton is done with the 5, just 1 point, 0 for 5 shooting, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 28 disjointed minutes for Charlton because of the foul trouble. And you can see the disappointment on his face. Loves to compete, wants to win, works as hard as anybody in white and maroon, but this one wasn't kind to him tonight.
It's his first experience against the Havoc defense, and unfortunately the Havoc defense chewed him up and essentially spit him out. As he mentioned, 0 of 5 from the floor, 0 of 2 from beyond the arc. Was unable really to get in a rhythm with that foul trouble, as you mentioned, and now we'll have to watch and hope that Fordham can somehow come up with a miraculous run here.
Yeah, and barring that, VCU's going to survive in a game that it looked like they had wrapped up, where they went cold in the second half, and Fordham scored enough to get within 3, and now Josh Colon-Navarro has free throws coming.
And how about this as we see Josh Colon-Navarro drive to the basket, but for VCU, they have 22 points off turnovers tonight. And now, with this win over the past 3 seasons, they would be 33-5 when scoring 20 or more points off of opponents' turnovers. That's amazing, AB.
What's more amazing, the record or the fact that it's happened 38 times that they've scored more than I mean, those are free points. Those are points you're not supposed to get, but you earn them by taking the ball away and then converting on the other end. You should be 33-5 if you're going to score 20-plus points off turnovers.
And that just goes to the Havoc defense using that and leading to easy offense. And that really has been one of the difference makers as to why Fordham was just unable to at least get this back to a one-possession game, and why VCU was able to have at least an 8 to 6 point buffer throughout this game.
And it's going to make VCU 8-1 on the year on the road as Baldwin loses the handle midair. Fordham's down 8. There's 57 seconds left. This one's not over just yet. Nunn and Colon-Navarro. It's been a lot of long, judgmental looks from the officials in this game, making sure that these young men don't go over the line. They were 3 techs in the first half. The foul's on Nunn, and then Jamie Lucky making sure that after that little mini held ball that nobody did anything more.
Are we not saying that Colon-Navarro and Nunn weren't just talking about their favorite musicians, their hobbies, what they like to do on their spare time? You think they were exchanging more than pleasantries?
Yeah, I don't think Josh was explaining that the Super Bowl champion LA Rams were named after his Fordham Rams.
I'm sure Nunn would want to hear that, Rams on Rams. But I would say this, I love that energy from Fordham. They're not going to get punked by VCU on their home court, and they've really shown that intensity here in the second half.
And VCU almost just threw the ball away, which would have given Fordham possession down 6 with 50 seconds to go. They were lucky that Nunn was in position to back up and save the possession. And now a Mike Rhodes timeout to settle things down. We started to wrap this up and give VCU another win, another road win, and maybe not so fast as they head back home to see Richmond. Another game with George Mason, who they just took care of over the weekend. And then those Bonnies and those Billikens looming.
Yeah, and right now, VCU third in the A-10, and they'll look to finish off strong. But again, not an easy schedule, and especially when you have to end with St. Bonaventure and St. Louis there in that final week. But for VCU, it looks like they're on their way to winning their 4th straight.
Especially now the Bonnies seem to be Bonnies. They weren't for a while, but now they're looking like the team that everybody thought was going to win the Atlantic 10. Although their resume at the moment is probably not salvageable really as an at-large unless this hot stretch for them takes them all the way to the A-10 title game. But regardless, as you're fighting for position, you don't want to see them close to their best, as Riley is called for that, leaving Curry on the court. Zach Riley has given Fordham some decent minutes. In fact, he's played 19 minutes in this one. And actually called a foul first on Ohams, not on Riley. But Riley didn't play against Duquesne, and now he's played half of this game. No Quisenberry. Charlton's foul trouble opening up PT as Curry misses a free throw.
Yeah, and Riley's been fearless. He's come out here, he's played some tough defense, and a few times out in transition, he's been able to make things happen for Fordham. So, I mean, great minutes, and I think a development, a positive development for Kyle Neptune to see.
Curry gets the second. VCU by 7. And they'll still play defense to the bitter ends. Fordham's got to go quick. Cologne Navarro goes down the lane. Got the contact. Mike Rhodes cannot believe it. Walking away, rubbing his temples. Just give Josh Cologne Navarro the 2 there. Don't flirt with 3.
And Ace Baldwin Jr. pleading with his coach, telling him, hey, I thought I had a chance to maybe swipe that and pick his pocket. Unable to do so. And Mike Rhodes just tell him, hey, keep your hands up at all times.
I think he asked his coach, what am I supposed to do? And Mike, who was a really good player himself, just said, as you said, put your arms up and escort him to the rim. Back-to-back big scoring games for Josh Cologne Navarro. He's got 20. That's a new career high for him.
And he's made his living at the free throw line. 9 of 9. Perfect from the charity stripe tonight.
Stockard survives it. Curry throws it gently through the rim. Ahmad Harrison tiptoes, crosses over, and misses the lay-in. Ohams gives the foul with 17.6. They pulled and they clawed and they fought to the end, but Fordham's going to run out of time here against VCU as Mike Rhodes looks on. Even this last minute has been tighter than it should have been after the Rams of Fordham made the second half tighter than you might have expected. But I think we can go now back to, man, VCU is 8-1 on the road with this win today. As Stockard misses badly from the free throw line. That to me is one of the easiest indicators of a good team.
Yeah, and when you think about it, that 8-1 start, now it's going to be their most in a season since the 2011-2012 campaign when they went 10-3, and you said that. Great defense travels, and that's the foundation that VCU has, and that's a reason for their success on the road.
Stockard missed them both. Cologne Navarro's 3 is off. Riley finds it, gives it to Ohams, but they need more than 2. Fordham calls for time with 6 seconds to play, down by 5.
Yeah, and a great job there. Second opportunity. Zach Riley getting that offensive rebound and dumping it off to Chuba for the easy layup. But again, it's just been Fordham just doesn't have enough in their arsenal to keep up. I mean, they've crossed the 60-point plateau, but VCU, they've shown they've had more, and it's really been KeShawn Curry. He was the difference maker down the stretch, getting those baskets to at least give VCU enough of a cushion where they're going to be able to get out of Rose Hill with a victory.
Curry and Williams Jr. each have 19, and they're 13 of 19 shooting combined. And those are just not numbers that exist on the Fordham side. As a team, 33% shooting, 4 of 23 from 3. And there were a couple of triples in the second half that rimmed out. And had they gone through, Curry came very close to walking on the catch. He gives it away. Riley will shoot a three. One last miss from downtown as this one is finally over. A 66-61 VCU win. It was not pretty, especially in the second half for both teams, but in the end, it's another road win for the VCU Rams and a tough home loss for the Fordham Rams.
Yeah, 17 turnovers apiece, but Fordham, they continue to fight. They tried to keep it close, and it looked a few times like they were going to be able to get through the back door, but VCU does just enough behind the likes of KeShawn Curry and Vince Williams Jr., and they're able to capitalize and get their 8th road win of the season.
Curry finishes with 21. He's our player of the game. 7 of 11 shooting, 7 of 8 from the line, plus 2 rebounds and 2 steals in just 26 minutes, and he deserves to have a smile on his face as he leaves the floor. The chat for Cameron Cunningham. A big night for Curry and another road win for VCU.